Hi, welcome back to lesson 2 of AutoCAD Made Easy Volume 1. The manual we're still using is AutoCAD Made Easy Volume 1. If you have not gotten yours, I strongly recommend you get yours, as these lessons go in pari passu with the topics and chapters as described in the book. And also, the book will serve as a revision for you for the lessons. The lessons complement the book complements the lesson. Now that we have already discussed what AutoCAD application is and what AutoCAD can do for you, it's time to dive into installing AutoCAD and using AutoCAD for the first time. I am your host and author, Engr Adebisi Akeem T, and it's glad having you today. So, what you see on your screen now is AutoCAD application. The version with which I'm using to project this is AutoCAD 2020 version. A couple of interesting buttons and command. In the central area, you find the drawing space. The drawing space is where you draw everything. The drawing space is where you design and model what you're doing. We also find the menu bar including things like home, solid, surface, mesh, visualize, and the likes of it. Each of the menu bar contain buttons and tools that you use to accomplish what you want to draw. Also, you find that AutoCAD uses a coordinate method for tracking each object in the drawing space. Depending on the workspace you are at, you will either find X and Y coordinates or a XYZ coordinate. The X coordinates being the horizontal, Y being the vertical, and Z being the Z coordinates. You also find on the interface the view cube. With the view cube, it's easy for you to toggle between the views of an object. You can switch to the top view, you can switch to the side view, southwest view, or as the need provides. You also discover on the AutoCAD interface the home button, the AutoCAD home button, with which you can save, open, exit, and do a couple of other stuffs with it. Now, you also find the command line. The command line is towards the bottom of the screen, and the command line is used for entering commands directly into AutoCAD. Before we go on, you should know that AutoCAD is very flexible. You can command your AutoCAD using the user icons. You can command AutoCAD using user icons, interactive icons on your screen by picking an icon and using it. You can as well use shortcuts by typing a shortcut on your keyboard, and it brings the tools and you use it. You can as well command AutoCAD using the command line, which involves typing commands in the command line and AutoCAD executing the commands for you. If you are familiar to coding, or you are used to having command prompts, using the command line will be very easy and straightforward for you. If you are familiar with using Microsoft Word or any of the other applications that use user interface buttons, using the interface buttons and shortcuts will be much easier. Whichever one you choose is not absolute. While working on the same drawing, you can use shortcuts, use interactive icons, and use command line, still in the same drawing. Did I forget to mention that AutoCAD is very forgiving? With AutoCAD, if you do something that you do not want to appear, you can easily Ctrl Z undo You can easily undo what you've just done. You can erase. With AutoCAD, you can speed up project execution by drawing one thing once and duplicating it several times. Now, let's dive right into it. Before we continue, as we mentioned in the previous lesson and in the chapter 1 of the book, AutoCAD is capable of making two-dimensional drawings, which are flat drawings, and also three-dimensional drawings. If you do not know what a two-dimensional and three-dimensional drawing is, if I show you a drawing like the one you are seeing on your screen now, is a two-dimensional drawing of a box. I can as well draw the isometric view of the box, a projection of the box whereby you see multiple views, but it is still a flat drawing. If you hold the box in your hand, in front of you is a three-dimensional design, because on this box you can go vertical, horizontal, and then x-axis. These are drawings with length, breadth, and height, whereby flat drawings are generally drawings with length and breadth. So, AutoCAD allows you to create 2D and 3-dimensional drawings. What are workspaces? I like to think of workspaces as a working space. If you need to make a design, you go to the design studio. If you need to make poetry, you go to a poetry shop. If you need to do this, let's say you need to make clothes, you need to go to a shop with machines. Same thing. A workspace is a working space which contains all the tools, commands, and interface necessary for you to effectively draw or design the job at hand. So AutoCAD uses a different workspace for two-dimensional drawing and another different workspace for three-dimensional drawings. With that being said, for the first part of this courses, we shall be dwelling with two-dimensional drawings, and so we'll be using the drafting and annotation workspace. I hear someone say, how do I know if my drawing is in two-dimensional workspace? Before we do that, let's go over to starting AutoCAD and also creating a new file. To start AutoCAD, all you need to do is make sure your computer is on, launch the start button, and launch AutoCAD. This is easily accomplished by double-clicking on the AutoCAD icon on the screen. Wait for the interface to be fully loaded. Then go to the AutoCAD Home and select New. AutoCAD will prompt you to use the template. Use the AutoCAD template as the basic template. And now you have the familiar user interface as I showed earlier on in the Microsoft interface section. So, how do I find which workspace I'm at? First, one way to find out which workspace you are at is to look at the coordinate system. Are you using a XYZ coordinate or a XY coordinate? If you are using a XY coordinate, you are most likely in a two-dimensional workspace. To be sure, and to switch your workspace, all you need to do is to call out the workspace switching dialog. How do you do that? You go to bottom right corner of your screen and click on workspace switching button. Where you find your workspace switching button, you click on it and you change to drafting and annotation. Now that your drawing is in drafting and annotation, let's begin. One of the most basic things you need to set up before beginning is to tell AutoCAD the units with which you will be drawing. This you can easily do by bringing out the units dialog box. This you can find by typing units in the command line or units as a shortcut. The units will bring a dialog box, and with this you can set the unit with which you will be working. Engineers use millimeters a lot. If that suits the drawing you're about making, use millimeters. If not, switch to the appropriate unit that suits the design you're about making. Precision. Precision talks about if you use fractional dimensions. If I'm using a unit like meters, I can have 1 meters, 1.23 meters. In such a case, I will need to put my precision to 0.00 or 0.000 to accommodate the dimensions I'll be using. If you are using a smaller unit like millimeters, you may use a zero precision as 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters. Or if you need finer precision like 2.25 millimeters, kindly choose the preferred precision. You should, however, note that AutoCAD is not like an application. AutoCAD is not like SolidWorks, where you can use meters for the length and use yards for the breadth. Whatever unit you choose here will be used throughout. Hence, it is necessary that you use a unit that will cut across all your design. Thank you for watching. I'm Engr Adebisi Akeem T, and until next lesson, bye for now.